problem. Just do the same thing and remember the tongue. Yeah. And when the tongue, it's really important to make sure that you're sealing to the sides of the molars like this. Not like this. You can't just raise your tongue up. It's gotta flatten out and hit the sides of the molars. Because the whole thing is we're creating this fast passage that's sealed airtight from side to side. Does that make sense?
I've never done that.
No?
I've never heard that.
Yeah, that's what raising the tongue does. Look.
Wow.
Can you feel the air go faster when you do that?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Like, I've raised a tongue, but I haven't I never spread it out. I guess it kind of just in the
Yeah,
middle.
you don't. You want it to seal on the sides. Otherwise, the air just is gonna go like that, and you're not really gonna get that tunnel that we're trying to create with the tongue.
Mm.
Right. All right.
Okay, I'll try that.
Yep. And think of this: when you get to a note, and you want to go to the next note, raise that tongue, and get the pitch to go higher. And so that way you're going to go to the next note through the top of the note, the previous note. So let's say I'm on a G. Sorry. If I keep raising it like that, that's literally my ticket into the next note. That's my passage into the next note. We don't want to go from the center of one note straight to another note. The truth is, it should feel like a constant glissando, like doing this. Right? If I do that, then it'll start to connect all the way up through there. But if I start to just slot into one note and then get stuck in that note, it's going to be very hard to get to the next one. You want to keep this mentality of moving right on through, which means you're going to have to kind of play into the high side of every note that you want to break through to get to the next note, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Try the same thing again and just think one note that's changing speed instead of all these separate notes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the mouthpiece. Arch the tongue, keep forward. And make sure you're supporting down here too. Even if we're going softer up there, we still need some support.
Okay.
That doesn't mean we're playing super loud up there. We're still gonna go soft.
I feel like I'm still not getting the tongue quite right. I feel like I need to just keep playing around with that.
Yeah. Just and here, try this. Say, a e a. Wait, hold on. E a. No, it's too complicated. Just say e.
So where's the tip of your tongue during that? Is it down
I wouldn't
here?
think about the tip of the tongue. It should just kind of be floating around. I'm not like
Okay.
anchoring it or doing anything specifically with it. So
When you tongue, which part of the tongue are you using? Are you using the tip of the tongue?
many parts of the tongue. Sometimes I anchor tongue. Sometimes I'm T-tonguing. And even if I'm T-tonguing, meaning this kind of tongue, ta 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 ta, the one that we naturally do when we're speaking, sometimes it's here, ta 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 ta. Sometimes it's here, ta 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 ta. If I'm tonguing,
Depending on
if
the
I'm
register?
tonguing way up high, yeah, it depends on register. Because your tongue is always doing this, right? So if I'm up high and I'm trying to speak those high partials, I'm gonna be t t t t t. If I'm down low, ta 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 ta, ta 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 ta, t t t t t. Say t.
T T T T T T.
Right, your tongue's up here when you say t t t t t. Now
Oh.
say to 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 to.
To.
Right?
Okay, so you're not forcing the tip of your tongue downward.
No, 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 no.
Oh.
So if I'm up high, I'm going. That's what just happened.
That's a really different feeling than what I've been doing.
Okay. Well, then this should help then.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The tongue should change, and it has to strike in those same positions where it's residing. That's why there is no one particular place where the tongue is striking. There's a different place for the tongue to strike for every single note we play.
Yeah. Okay.
All right? And even me saying A, A, E is not enough to tell you all the positions. It's everything from O, all the way down there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if you keep the general idea that the tongue arches, and not just for the sensation of creating more speed, that's part of it, but it's also maybe even more importantly for the harmonics. So if I play a high C and I play it efficiently, now I'm going to just kind of change my tongue position, not do much else. Kind of working, but truth is I have to give a little bit more air when I do that too. If I just do the tongue, let me try it, just the tongue. Nah, I can't just do it only with the tongue. It's accompanied by a little bit more of that, right? So it's not just the tongue, but it's a big important part of it. If I just gave more air and I didn't actually do that with the tongue, it wouldn't really make much of a difference. It would actually make the note just get a louder, and then it would actually fall to a lower note. So this is more important up there than it is even like, you know, the lower you are down on the horn, you can get away with a lot. You don't have to necessarily have the tongue in the perfect position. As you start to go higher, the doors get much smaller for the slots. So it's really important that the tongue matches exactly where it needs to be and that the aperture is matching that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the only way to know where that is to feel it. You can theorize and hypothesize all you want, but the knowing is doing when it comes to this stuff. So, and you learn the position. So if I want to hit that double C right on, and get my tongue arched up. There it is. Right? Before, my lips, they closed up. A little flat. There it is. Right? So anyway, that's memorization of this, and that, right? And that's what it anyway, work on this. So the idea is, if you're getting the tongue position in order, I mean, luckily this has been recorded so you can go back and review it, but just to kind of summarize real quick, making sure you're getting enough space here initially so there's room for the aperture to actually function, right? And so that you have a good sound to begin with. You can test that with airflow. And then you can introduce the lips into that equation, right? They should ride easily on the air and not have